All right, guys. So I got to hit you with something right now. Okay. We were talking this morning, some friends of mine, and the general consensus is this is fucking hopeless, and the whole masking thing is just going to continue to grow, and socialism is going to continue to grow, and communism is continue to grow, and we just can't do anything about it because there's more people who want to push it than who want to stand up against it, and there's so many people who don't agree with it who are just going along with it, and they're never going to fucking put up a stink about it. All right, and they just say this is inevitable, it's inevitable. And they're saying, well, we were talking about mandatory vaccines and mandatory masks, and they were saying, well, you can get a vaccine or you can find a new job. You could wear a mask or you could find a new job. But they were saying eventually just every business is going to require a mask. Every business is going to require a vaccine. I say, bullshit. No, they're not. All right. There's this saying in the farming community, to plant a seed, to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. Well, here's the thing. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Right? If you want to have a nice big freaking tall tree in your yard and you want it to either be bearing fruit or, dropping acorns, you plant an oak tree, you want it to fucking bear fruit, right? The best time to plant that tree? 20 years ago. The next best time is right fucking now. The best time to have been patriotic and the best time to have been active and vocal about this shit was 20 years ago. But you know what? We can't go back in time. So we've got to start now, okay? We need more people who are conservative, who want to fucking be in business. We need more people who are conservative, who want to get into politics. Now is the time to do it. Not tomorrow, not last week, right fucking now. Right now, right now, right now. Okay? I cannot do this myself. I cannot fucking single-handedly change this goddamn country back to something that resembles some freedom and liberty. I cannot do it myself. I'm going to continue to do what I can. But even if we get these people elected, good people elected, we need more, right? We need more good people. We need more people who will speak up and stand out. We need more of the businesses to say, no, I don't believe in this. We need more of you guys who have kids and families to say, no, I'm not going to subject my kids to this. I'm not going to go along. We cannot continue down this path. Okay? The best time to have fought this was before it got such a big hold. But now we're fighting an uphill battle. Now we're fucking playing from behind. But you know what? We got a lot of people on our team. And we can't let the uphill battle dissuade us from fighting it. The colonists and the American patriots who started this country, they were outnumbered. They were outgunned. They had very little chance of succeeding, probably in most people's minds. That's why so many people stuck to their guns and said, no, we support the British. They were Tories. And they said, no, we're going to support the British. We're not going to support the American Revolution. We don't believe in that. But they won anyway because they had conviction and they were right. And we are right, guys. I have conviction and I hope you do too. I am not just doing this shit to fucking blow hot air at you. We must do something about this because you can't hunker down anymore. You can't fucking hide. It will come to your doorstep. You'll be like, oh, that's happening in a different state. Oh, Massachusetts mandating vaccines for everybody, basically. Every single child must get vaccines, period, by law now. People think, oh, that's just Massachusetts. That won't come here. Are you kidding me? Have you been asleep the last 20 years? Wake up. You can't sit there and keep your mouth shut anymore. You can't. You are the ones who are fucking doing this to us. We did this to ourselves. This is nobody else's fault but our own. Yeah, the freaking extreme left is pushing this. Yeah, there's socialists and communists who are pushing this shit. But the reason we have this problem now is we did nothing. Okay? We did nothing. And I'm going to close out with this because I got to get back to what I'm doing. All right, I'm really big on personal development and I'm really big on reading, not just listening to stuff, but reading actual books, words on a paper. And it's really important to recognize that people in life have experiences that we can learn from. And when you read a book, what the book is somebody took all of their best life experience and pulled out all the best stuff, all the best ideas and lessons and things that they've learned and things that has helped them to be successful and help them along the path. And they take all the best things out of a 50 or 60 year life. If somebody's, in an experienced writer is somebody who's, in their 40s, 50s, 60s, right? Best practices from all of that time, they put that down into one thing that you can read in a couple days. And you get a lifetime of their experience in one spot. Okay? So we need to start paying attention, and we need to start doing personal and self-development, not just in a patriotic sense, but in a mindset sense. Okay? You've got to make sure this is locked down, this is sharp. So I'm going to recommend a book to you right now. Jocko Willink, Extreme Ownership. Okay? How U.S. Navy SEALs Lead and Win. Jocko Willink is a massive figure in conservative self-development. He's a former Navy SEAL, and this guy knows his shit. And the point of this book is, even if somebody else does something wrong, even if somebody else makes a mistake, even if somebody else does something that affects you, you have to own your part in it. The whole thing is extreme ownership of your life, not letting any detail of your life get away and out of your grasp, because ultimately you are responsible for everything that's in your situation. So you know what? I didn't start this coronavirus crap. I didn't start this leftist crap, but I am responsible from when I was a kid growing up. I could have got into politics when I was 18. I could have started paying better attention. I could have been more vocal. I could have said shit about this years ago when this stuff was gnawing away at me and itching and fucking burning in my soul that this shit was wrong. I could have said something years ago, and I didn't, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited. So this shit's on me. I'm responsible for the situation we're in. I have to own that. I could have done this. I could have done this Facebook group years ago. I could have started this stuff years ago, but I didn't. You could have done the same. And maybe you're active in politics, and maybe it's not specifically to you, but us generally, you're responsible for the situation we are in. That is the truth of it. We can't blame Obama. We can't blame somebody else. We can't blame Jimmy Carter or anybody else in our past, right? The current situation is on us. And once you fucking realize that we collectively as individuals own the situation that we are in, and I have come to terms with the fact that I own my part in this situation, irregardless of how many other people have forced this shit on me, I own my part in it. Once you recognize that you own your part in it, then that unlocks our potential. Because once we recognize as individuals, once I recognize and once you recognize as an individual that you're responsible for the fucking situation you are in, guess what? That now puts the power back in your court, because you're responsible for getting yourself out of it. I'm responsible for getting myself out of this situation, and I'm responsible for changing things that affect me, and you are responsible for changing the things that affect you. That's why my fucking bottom core level is personal responsibility, and always striving to own your shit, and always striving to acknowledge the part you play in society, in your communities, and in your families. You cannot pawn your responsibilities off on anybody else. And doing that is just a fucking cop-out. It's weak, it's lazy, and it's half-assed. And that's not America. That's not what we're about. That's not how we were founded. We take extreme ownership and extreme responsibility for our actions. We must collectively take ownership of our situation together. I believe it was Ben Franklin. He said, we must hang together, or we will most certainly hang separately. There is unity in this commitment that we are making to each other through this 8.3 group and through being patriotic citizens and Americans, and we need to stand. There are a lot of other states where people are coming together. You have states where hundreds and hundreds of businesses and cities are saying no more. We cannot lag behind. We must step up to the plate, guys. Own what you've got in your life and own your part in making this fucking mess that we are in. Right? And if that hurts to hear, and if you feel guilty about that, and you say, fuck, I don't like you telling me that I'm part of this, because it's not my fault. You know, yes, it is. Yes, it is your fault, and it's my fault. And the mindset that gets a fucking all uptight and, oh, it's not my fault, that kind of mindset is exactly why we have the silent majority, and exactly why we do have the numbers, but we're not making the changes. That mindset right there. Take some fucking ownership for your part in what you've got in your life. Financially, relationally, in your fitness, in your health, where you live, everything that you've got going on is because of your actions. And sometimes your actions is the action of being inactive. I got to go back, guys, but I really think this is important to think about, and I want to recommend this book, Extreme ownership, how U.S. Navy SEALs lead and win. Great. You've got to take ownership of your situation. All right. If you can, move forward and be more active in this group and figure out what you can do to own your situation and try to get that thought process back out to the people that you can affect. All right. I'll see you.